Good morning, YouTubers. It is Saturday morning, and I got a great video planned out today. I think it's going to be a great video. It was actually a request video from a comment that someone said, he would love to hear how you start off building a trade group for gold and silver. It's one of them things that a lot of people don't even know about. A lot of people are so secretive, and don't get me wrong, I'm secretive about my stacking. However, I did build a good-sized trade group of people that really do appreciate gold and silver, and it's helped me out more times than I can count. Whenever I go a little overboard, buy too much, and then need a little bit of money, I don't want to take a hit. Because I thought I could I could basically squeeze a little bit bigger of a purchase, and then all of a sudden something happened and I needed a little cash and I had to let a little bit of it go. And I didn't want to end up taking a loss on that. Some people are like, you do lose when you sometimes sell. It's not often if you have a great trade group like I have. So it's kind of important that you do build it, but you want to build it up in a safe way and a way to maximize your silver. You want your silver to work for you. You don't just want it sitting here on the table. If you just have it sitting in a safe or sitting under your bed or sitting on your table, you're not maximizing the silver's true potential. Silver is money. Gold is money. Despite what they have brainwashed us to believe that only this is money and only this you can use. And I guess you can use this in digital form too. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. So today we're going to talk about that. I think it's a good topic to talk about. And with that being said, before we get started, if you guys enjoy the video, please take a quick minute and hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And if you want to do the ultimate thing, please take a quick minute, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and watching it for the first time, or you just haven't hit the subscribe button. A special thank you to Colton Davis for just joining our memberships. For those of you that don't know, we will be running a silver giveaway here in probably about a week. Want to give people a little more time to get in, anybody that wants to get in, but we do that every single month. We do a silver giveaway. It's only $1.99 to join. We have less than 40 members right now, so for $1.99 to win a free ounce of silver, I would say that's pretty awesome odds. So special thank you to Colton Davis for just joining yesterday, actually, so that was pretty cool. If you're not sure what that is, the silver giveaway that we do every month, you can check out our live streams, previous live streams, and we do it throughout the live stream so everybody can see. So with that being said, let's get started. So a trade group. Why would anybody want to trade their silver? I hear it all the time. I don't plan on letting mine go for nothing. Here's the thing. Depends on how you're stacking. If you're buying silver and you're maybe overbuying your silver, it can happen where you get a little too much silver. What do I mean by too much? Hey, you got paid $1,000 extra this month, and you're like, you know what? They got a great deal on this batch of silver. It's $1,200. I'm going to go for it and buy it, pull the trigger. Maybe you want to buy something big. Maybe it's a $1,100 or $1,200. I don't know what a kilo is running at the exact moment. I didn't look it up before the stream. However, you want to buy a big purchase. You're going to go a little overboard, and you're like, you know what? I'll eat a little more ramen this month. Little less eating out. I'll cut a corner here and there and I'll make it work. A few more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and I'm there. But then you start off the first week of the month and boom, you have something go wrong. Your AC went out, your hot water heater went out, something went wrong. You've got to let a little bit of silver go. How do you do it? Well, what everybody seems to do is they go to the pawn shop. And, despite having multiple friends that own and operate pawn shops, work in pawn shops, I'm wholeheartedly against pawn shops as a selling place. I would never want to sell my stuff to a pawn shop. I want to sell to individual people that are stackers. Why? Because it means I'm going to get my money back. Now, some people will ask me, do you make a profit off it when you sell it? Generally, I get a better living sense, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that here in just a minute. But I don't generally lose. The stuff that I sell will be the most recent stuff that I bought, which means right now you're looking at roughly silver. If you go buy some ounces of silver right now, $34. If you take it to a pawn shop, you'd be lucky if they tell you 25. I mean, that's crazy to me. I would never sell it like that. But you got multiple friends that are big into stacking, and hey, you tell them, hey, you know what? I got a bunch of these bars in this month. I need a little extra cash. I paid 35, let's say, for them. I'll sell you, if you want to get a couple off me for 35 bucks a piece, and see what they say. Not everybody in the group is going to want to buy. Maybe they already bought for the month. Maybe they are like, wow, how many you want to let go? It's different every time. Each person's in a different position. The thing is, you're keeping the money or the fiat and the silver in the group. You're not letting it go outside the group. Therefore, your group of people becomes stronger and stronger down the road. Some of my friends have been stacking, and some of them are heavy into silver and heavy into gold. And when I say heavy into gold, I mean 70, 80 ounces of gold. You think about how much money that is. They didn't get it overnight. They got it a little bit at a time. And, you know, someone needed money. And in some cases, they need money. An emergency comes up. And in silver, lots of silver, more than I could even say. So, you know, but what you're doing is you're strengthening your group. And you know what? That person may need money. I had a friend of mine, he needed some money a little while back, and he sold me some of his gold and some of his silver because his new girlfriend is having a baby. And congratulations to him. I think that's great. He needs to sell a little bit for now, and he says, I'm not stopping stacking. In fact, he's already started buying again now that he bought everything for the baby room, got it ready and stuff. So that's an example of the real big opportunity, but that's not the only example that I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to give you another way where you can increase your quality of lifestyle. That's just a way that if an emergency comes up, you can push more money into it, feeling comfortable that you have enough friends that are willing to buy or sell your stuff. Now, here's the thing. These friends of mine do not always interact with each other. They are friends of mine. Each one of these people I have got with one-on-one, and I've introduced them to silver slowly and surely. And the way you introduce people to silver, we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. But you know, I've gotten these people into it, and they don't know each other. Unless something comes up and I just can't purchase and I really want to help the person out. I was about to say guy, but some of these people are females. Most of them are key players in businesses in my area and the surrounding cities around me. And they have advantages to having them as friends. And I kind of picked my people wisely. Because I know that they're always, sometimes they're going to have cash flow and sometimes they're going to need cash flow, depending on their situation. If I say too much, I'm cautious a little bit what I say here because I don't want to divulge anybody. But, you know, because that's one of the advantages of having a group like this. You control stuff the way you create the group. Now, that doesn't mean these people won't go out and make their own groups. But you know what? The more groups there are, the more, if everybody in your area stacked gold and silver and used gold and silver, it would be a whole lot better place. And I actually talked to one guy when I tried recruiting him into the group. And I'm going to explain how how you can recruit people into the group. And if someone says, can you talk about this subject again? I'll talk about it again if the video has a good amount of likes and a good amount of views, and that way it will be different stuff. That said, but you know, I tried recruiting one person one day, and he was a younger kid, owns his own business, successful, has money, and when I started talking about gold and silver, he's like, I don't really believe in any of that. He goes, that means you listen to people like what, like Ray Dalio and oh my word, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Kiyosaki. And I said, I do listen to them. I said, you've heard of their names? He said, yeah, I've read up a little bit on gold and silver. I just don't believe in it. I mean, at the end of the day, no one is really going to want gold and silver, I don't believe. And I said, that's a possibility. It's just not likely. It's more likely that we're going to see gold and silver continue to go up. So as I start talking to this individual, I know that he is against it. So automatically, I'm kind of crossing him off my list as a potential person to add to the group. Now, in some cases, though, I might start talking with you and say, hey, I got a question. I was thinking about getting a couple of things here. I really wanted to get a couple of your seafood boils. What do you got them at $35 a piece? I really wanted to get a couple of them. I'm wondering if maybe we can work out a deal. He goes, what were you thinking? And I say, hey, have you ever looked into silver? And let me I had to find something real quick before I start talking. That way you guys could see it. Because there's certain coins you want to introduce people with, and then certain coins you don't want to introduce people with. Generally, a common generic is not the right coin to introduce someone with, unless you think there's something on the coin that appeals specifically to that person. For example, if you know the person is super patriotic and you show them something like this, and they're like, oh my word, that's so cool. That's silver? It's heavier than I thought. That's a common answer that I see. Oh yeah, it comes in different sizes, different shapes. But the weight of it is one of the things that tells you almost, it really means it is silver. And they're like, wow, that's so heavy. What does something like that cost? And I said, well, if you were to find someone that was selling it, you might end up paying $35 an ounce right now. With some exceptions, stuff like this. This is an American Silver Eagle. Obviously, it's the United States Mint coin. People love them, and they're very popular amongst stackers. Oh, wow, what does something like that sell for? Well, in most cases, you might find them for, I don't know, $35 if you're lucky, $40 if you're not. In this case, somebody was asking $45. So, it varies. However, I was hoping maybe to work out a trade. Now, here's the thing. I know your cost on those seafood boils, which I'm going to use for the example today, since I just had a seafood boil for lunch, runs, you sell them for maybe $35. Yep. Would you trade one of those for a seafood boil? Well, no, but I'll tell you what I will do. I actually need to get 2 or 3 of them. What I'm hoping I can do, I will trade you 2 of these for 3 of the seafood boils. Well, wait a minute. That's $105. That would put that at $52.50. That's right. But I'm not going to buy them unless I can work out a deal with you. It's not a for sure thing. I'm only willing to do business with people when they either have something that I just absolutely have, or when they have something that I can work out a trade with. And I know to some people, they can't fathom that. I have most of my friends, in fact, I would probably go out to say all of my friends, if they want something, they're going to buy it. They've worked too hard, and if they want something, they're just going to go get it. That's not how I look at stuff. I support businesses that I feel somewhat could work out down the road, that I could give them something and they could give me something. What can I give them? That's the first thing. Well, anybody watching this show today has knowledge. You have knowledge of gold and silver. Despite you may not think, oh, I've only been doing it for, a couple months. I don't have any knowledge. You have a lot more knowledge than the average person. If you're watching a show like this, then you understand how important gold and silver is to your well-being in the future. So you have that to offer them. And they have a product or service to offer you, and they have no knowledge on gold and silver yet. And some of my friends, like I said, I got into stacking when gold was $1,300 and silver was $17. And now they are very thankful. They own their own businesses, and now they tell me, hey, yeah, you let me know. I can literally bring a coin like this in and trade it for pretty much whatever I want. And if it's something collectible, some of these people like collectibles, and some of these people just like generic weight. Where can they get the most silver? They have my philosophy, because generally if you build a trading group, the people that you built up are going to have like-minded to you. For example, if you are strictly a collector, investor, stacker, and you get all these people into collecting and stacking, they're going to be collectors and stackers as well. If you are like me and you are out for weight, bullion, how many ounces can I get? I tell most of the people that I don't like collectibles. In fact, a lot of the people that I deal with, as soon as I get a collectible, some of them will ask me, oh, are you going to let that go? I saw you just pick that up. I saw your video. And now, so I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll let it go. You know what? I'll tell you what. You know what I paid. I set it online. I paid XYZ, let's say, for the item. I'll tell you what. You give me 5 free meals at your restaurant or something that they offer. It doesn't have to be meals. It can be, I've traded a lot of different stuff. I've gotten tires. I've gotten meals. I've gotten food. I've gotten all kinds of stuff. And the list goes on. I didn't take money. I did not want their fiat dollars. I did not want that as profit. I wanted what I paid, my money back, exactly, and something extra to increase my quality of life. What does that do for me? Well, obviously it makes it to where I don't have to spend my fiat dollars on miscellaneous stuff throughout the month if I can avoid it. If I could go a month and not spend any cash, then I did well. When you think about it, where does all your pay go? You go to work, you take money in the form of paper. I do refer to paper as money still amongst, when I'm trying to explain this to people. That might be new, but I'll be honest, I'll say this one time right now. This is not money. This is money. Money has to be a store of wealth. Understand that. However, the people of the world have been brainwashed that this is money. And because of that, the easiest way to explain stuff is just call it money and call this silver and gold. But this stores wealth. Fiat dollars do not store wealth. But let's say, you go to work, you get your fiat dollars, and you can buy a nice stack of silver at the beginning of the month. And you go and maybe you budget a certain amount of money, and boom, you did well. I've had someone tell me one day when I was talking to him, he goes, you realize if everybody did what you did, the system would not work. I said, why is that? He goes, well, obviously I can't use this to go buy my groceries for my food order or whatever the case may be. I said, well, but you just said if everybody used this, it wouldn't work. You would use this to buy your food order. What do you think they did in the old days? They didn't have this yet in the old days. In the old days, they had real silver, silver dollars, silver Morgans. What do I got up here? I know I got something up here. This is a box of just old silver dollars. So nothing super fancy. It just happened to be off to the side. People use that to order their groceries, and then they turn around and they sold it at their store. So yeah, it could work if everybody did it. The problem is the majority of the people of the world use this. Very few people are educated on this, and they set it up that way. It's basically like they have a monopoly on our money. And because of that, when you have a monopoly on anything, you control the price, the value, and that's exactly what they do right now with the dollar. And they control who uses it, who can get it, how they can take it. They control everything. With this, they don't control. And once people start really realizing that, the system would work a whole lot better. Because remember what I told you a minute ago, store of wealth. This is a store of wealth. This does not store wealth. Because it doesn't store wealth, they have the upper hand. Once people understand that and they start using this more in their day-to-day trades, you will find out that you have a lot more. Now, obviously, when I get my money every month, every couple weeks, whatever the case may be, I don't go into too much my finances on the channel. However, it allows me to put a little bit more of my money into silver and spend a little less. The more people that I get in my group, the easier my life is. Let's say for a minute, I look every month almost. Where'd the bulk of my money, my fiat dollars go this month? What did I spend it on? If I spend it on silver, okay, check. That's a good spend. If I find out that I spent it on Starbucks coffee, you know what? There's deals that you can work out. You can't do it at Walmart. It's a little harder at places like Starbucks coffee, but let's say it's Starbucks coffee, which I don't really buy. Well, you know what? I'm sure there's another coffee shop in my but I'm not a big coffee drinker. I'm just saying this as an example. But but I spent this month, let's say $200 on coffee. I look around, let's see, where's a good alternative to Starbucks? You know what? That place looks like they get coffee. I'll go try it out. I try it out a couple days. I figure out, you know what, by chance is the manager here? And I happen to have something like this in my hand, or something like this or that or this or that. You start talking to these people. You're not telling them where you live. You're not telling them how much you have. You're not telling them where you store your silver. You're not giving too much information, but you are finding out a little bit about it. Once they look at this or anything here, their first reaction will almost give you an idea of if this is going to be a person that's going to work out for you. I did a video where I actually recorded my meetup with someone at a small store. This is probably about 3 months ago. I played the video on here and people were in shock. How did I find out? I was pawing through the penny jar right there on the counter, looking through the pennies, looking. She goes, "Are you looking for wheat pennies?" And I was like, "I am." She goes, "You won't find any. I save them." What does that tell me? This is a business owner that told me that. I knew right then and there that she's a coin collector. She just doesn't really know why she's a coin collector. She doesn't know all the things. We went on, we talked about it, and before you knew it, I ended up trading her my sandwiches and pizza for basically the next week for a special set of quarters. That was a limited, it was the state quarters plus the park quarters and different stuff. I did the video on it. You guys can check it out. In fact, I'll put the video in the link below so you guys can click on it. It'll be the first link you see. So with that being said, it's super easy to do. If you guys like this topic, let me know in the comments and I'll talk a little bit more about it again, and I'll give you guys different scenarios that I have done and that you could do. And I'll make it a part 2 video. Or a part 3, or depending on how much people like it. So it's something nobody else or not many people do. If you've ever traded silver for an item, put it in the comments. I love to hear what you've gotten for silver. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again on T-Squared Talk. And I don't want the video to get too long because it's 22 minutes and I don't know when my camera's going to shut off. So it doesn't go forever. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Take care, everybody, and I will see you guys again on T-Squared Talk. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.